Cut off.
Woman.
Wait, was this the one that lived kind of far?
No. I was dating someone who lived in Riverview. Her name. We're not live, right?
No, we're live. We are live as fuck.
No. I'll tell you off camera.
All right.
But right now, there is no dating life, which is great for me because dating is super expensive.
And
it's expensive for men. If most men who doing it the right way or the preferred way, I should say.
Dating is expensive. For sure.
For sure. I think I want this one instead to kick us off. All right, let me go ahead and do some shares really quickly. What's going on, Method Heads? We are back. We had a week off, man.
That was so nice.
It was.
It was really nice.
It was nice to not even have to think about it.
Yeah, a whole week off?
I definitely took,
like,
I wasn't planning on taking Friday after Thanksgiving off, but I sure did. I like slid into the weekend just not opening my laptop, and it was really nice. It was nice giving my mind and my eyes a break.
You know what fucked me up? Working from home for like a long period of time, it kind of fucked up my desire to take days off.
Yeah.
Because I just be like, I'm gonna just phone today.
Yes.
I'm gonna get my shit done. You know, I'll do some work as needed, but I'm not about to sit here and play with y'all.
Yeah. I'm definitely in a mode right now where I just don't want to work for the rest of the year.
Ooh, I feel you on that.
Right?
So take the month off?
I'm like, why can't we? Let's just call it. Let's call it 2022.
You can probably do it.
I mean, technically, you work by yourself.
I have unlimited. Yeah,
so,
I don't have like a standard PTO. I know, it's so crazy because my brother, when I was telling him I was going to come visit him in California, he was like, "Why don't you just come out for the whole month?" I'm like, "I can't do that." He's like,
"You work for yourself." Yes,
of course you can, but it's hard because I have a dog. And she's an elderly dog, and I really don't want to leave her at this stage for long periods of time.
Long,
And also, too, I think you're like, as an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Probably stopping for a little while and then trying to fucking start back up. It's like,
And I would definitely, wherever I was, if I took an extended break or hiatus, I would still work, but I'm very hands-on with my clients. Right. I like seeing them regularly and interacting. So that would be hard for me to be away that long. Maybe we'll see.
When I used to work for the other company back in the day, they actually gave us almost like 2 weeks off at the end of the year. So from
my Christmas through New Year's. Yeah,
it was the best time off, and most of it was paid time off. They gave it to you without having to use your own.
That's so nice.
Yeah, I don't have that no more. But
I mean, we're as a country, we really do not do vacation correctly.
Well, we overwork. For sure. We were overworking in the United States, that's for sure.
Overworked, underpaid.
Can we get that screen up there, Remy?
We sure can.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm used to seeing that one. There we are.
And let's get the AC off too, please, sir.
I thought I did that. Oh yeah, I turned it back on because it was fucking.
It's gonna get hot. It always gets hot when you turn it off.
Because you were what?
Who was hot? He was hot. He was hot. Oh,
who, me?
Do you know which people had the who bottle was who from the wine exchange? Probably not, right?
I did have it written down, and I lost the list. Why?
I'm just curious.
Remy has mine.
Who bought it? Oh, does he?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I haven't tried the one I have yet, but I'm curious to know
if you had that one.
Who had mine?
No, so I wanted a very specific wine, one of my favorites, and the place I went to, this wine sells out all the time. It's called Troublemaker. It's a delicious red blend if you've never had it. And so the guy at the wine shop said this one is very close to it in notes and taste. So
yeah, I'm just curious to know because I bought a wine I never heard. I've actually never bought a wine over $30, and so I'm curious to know what that one tastes like. So it's out of curiosity.
Do you know the name of what you got?
Something twist. I don't know. I remember. I had to look it up.
Send me a picture. I'll find out who got it.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I have a rosé. Someone gave me a I picked up a rosé one, and the rosé one.
Oh, wait, that was M.
That was who? Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, because we were actually talking about, and I was like telling her, I was like, I have a feeling most people are going to bring reds. So she was like, you know what? I'm going to mix it up, and I'm going to do like a nice rosé. So
I like rosé. I don't know if I've
I like
never
rosé
had.
too.
Is rosé considered a white?
I mean, I don't know what you consider it. It's just a pink. I just call it a blush. It's a blush wine. In terms of like food pairings, I would liken rosé to whites.
Come on, Remy.
So, drink it with like fish, chicken. It's not something you would have with a steak.
Okay.
Any type of red meat or like pork chopper.
But I could probably just drink it while I'm lying on the couch.
But it's really good, just like sipping.
Okay. Wine,
yeah.
That's what's up. All right, method heads. It's about that time, man. Once Remy gets his headphones back on and gets situated, we gonna start.
He was so comfortable, and then he had to do things.
You ready?
Yeah, there we go.
Let's do it.
Scroll down.
Take a seat and put your feet up. We gon' meet up. Sit with me and sip some tea with Remy Mulatto. Give me bottles of Hennessy and Moscato. They had enough already, but there's plenty to follow. I stay poetic with Jay Noetic, remaining effective. Conversation getting heavy, staying respected. Playing the record, maintaining collective. Saying what you think, it ain't no place for rejection. I claim it and meant it. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. So tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
Welcome to a Method Podcast. I'm Jay Noetic.
I'm Remy Mulatto.
I'm Cass.
Y'all know I like to bring the content.
I like to bring the chaos.
I bring the balance.
And with that, we believe the best way to have truthful conversations is to
have mostly everybody
talking honestly
over the drink. We got it right this week. Yes.
And we're all drinking the same thing.
Are we all drinking the same thing? What we all drinking on? What we drinking on? So go ahead, Casamigos. Tell them what we drinking on.
We are having Crown Royal Washington Apple. Washington Apple takes me back. I used to do Washington Apple shots. Yes, in the club. And lemon drop shots.
I love lemon drop shots.
What was Washington?
I didn't know Washington Apple was a shot though.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's what you're drinking.
That's what we're drinking.
What it can say.
Shots of this.
Yeah.
Exactly? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Hey man, when we are back for another episode, we were off last week. We were off, but y'all did have some episodes to listen to and watch. Thanksgiving just finished. How was your Thanksgiving?
Wonderful. I did absolutely nothing. It was perfect.
Absolutely nothing.
What'd you guys do?
Did you order food?
I did. I ordered Chinese. I went to Yummy House. I picked up from Yummy House, and it was jam-packed at that restaurant.
There's a lot of single people out there who don't cook on Thanksgiving, so
yeah,
I think it's becoming more of a thing to not have these big meals.
Yeah,
just
to gather together like what you did with friends and do kind of like potluck style. Or
I feel like that's a conversation what single people do during the holidays.
I mean, I feel like most people probably go back home for sure, but I know that's a demographic or population of people who don't go. Who don't go home. So I just did a little Thanksgiving with a couple of my friends. Only like 5 of us.
Okay.
And they cooked. Shout out to my homeboy TJ Jones, and the food was amazing. But I was home by 8:00.
What was the best dish you had?
The ham was pretty good. And then Sally's mac and cheese is pretty dope too.
Okay.
So I like mac and
Sally.
cheese. Yeah, Sally can throw down in the kitchen. For a white girl, she can cook her ass off. Remy, how was your Thanksgiving, man? What'd you do? I heard you were all over the place. I heard you went to like 4 different houses.
I literally went to 4 different houses. Yeah. Yeah. First, I had Brandon to hang with like a family that I've known here since I like first lived here. Like one of the first some of the first friends that I made here. And obviously after that I went to Ed's and his mom's or whatever. And then after that I went and visited Crystal.
I saw her post.
Yeah, I saw it too. And I was like, you know what?
Anybody's hungry.
I'm on my way. So
you are hilarious.
Yes. I told her, I was like, was that for real? And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, send me the address. And then she didn't send me the address. And I was like, or no. And then she said the address. So I was like, all right, well, then it's an invite. You know what I mean? So if you send me your address, I'm coming over now.
That was really awesome of her to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, I should do that every year for people who didn't do it. Method Head, what did y'all do for Thanksgiving? Let us know in the comments. We also had a little Friendsgiving on
We
this weekend. Shout out to Casamigos. She opened her house to her special friends. I say special because we were included.
I graduated to being a special friend.
Yes. I always do try to do a little gathering around the holidays, and I typically limit it to just my female tribe. But this year I decided, I was like, it's been a long time
Get some
since
dudes in on
some
this.
of us original, some of us OGs got together, and I really enjoyed myself. It was really nice.
And when I first got there, I was like, oh man, me, Melissa, and Cass, we're like
I
the original people from a long time ago.
I know.
So we played this game. I get you. That's what you want to talk about when Casamigos was like,
oh, bad choices.
and she not that, but like,
listen,
how
can
she
I
got
say
four
one
in a,
thing?
she got 4 in a row. No, I'm not going to do that. No, we're not doing all of that. What happened there stayed there as far as the game.
Yes,
But there was one point in the game.
I was just gonna say I learned a lot about Jay. That's all I was gonna say.
And Casamigos.
Why are you trying to throw me under the bus?
Everyone's asking me questions the whole time. Only because I was being super honest and like I didn't give a fuck. But there was this one point in the game where Cass pulled a card and she had to guess whose card was in there. And it was like 13 cards in there. And she ended up getting like 4 in a row from the jump.
I was impressed with myself.
I was impressed. If you had gotten one more, I would have left.
I could have kept
If you
going.
got one more, I would have left. I'm like, this is spooky.
It was like playing Clue with somebody, and they just started the game, and they already know who did it with what and everything. Like she just got all the information, and then 4 times in a row. Like we know, everybody in this room.
Not everybody. That would have been great if I would have gotten at least like half the people.
I think you got my card too, but mine was like more towards the end. But
yeah,
it was a special moment.
It was.
All right, man. Let's get into what we call the method movie.
Uh-oh.
So a method movie is where I play a movie clip for the table and for you method heads. These two do not know the movie. Obviously, y'all don't know it either. All they can hear is the words and the sound.
All right.
Are y'all ready?
I'm always ready.
They've been on it lately, so I had to dig deep into the repertoire for this one.
The repertoire.
The repertoire.
I like that word.
It's a good word.
It was rarely used.
Like moist.
Everybody needs a repertoire.
No, see,
everybody needs a moist repertoire.
A moist
repertoire.
All right, what movie is this?
Jackass. Kidding.
What's it up to? What is it? $300? Is that it?
It sounds like
I'm a school teacher.
Tom Hanks was school
I teach English composition.
No, that's not Tom.
This little town called Abley, Pennsylvania.
Oh, it does sound like him.
I've been at Thomas Alva Edison High School. As a coach of the baseball team in the springtime.
So I keep listening. Y'all will figure it out.
Back home, and I tell people what I do for a living. They think, well, and that figures. But over here, it's a big mystery.
No guesses?
So I guess
I've never seen this movie in my
I've
life.
never seen this movie.
And I've seen maybe 90% of
Sometimes
it.
I wonder if I've changed so much. My wife is even going to recognize me.
Forrest Gump.
No.
Captain Phillips. I'm just start naming Tom Hanks movies now.
Just listen. Hold on. He's going to tell you. Here in a
Tell her
second.
about days like today.
Is this Saving Private Ryan?
It is Saving Private Ryan. You should have
Dang
said it.
it.
Why didn't you say it? It is. It
I
is.
think about
Yeah.
Ryan.
I haven't seen that movie.
He just said his name too.
It's
Nah.
just a name.
So yes, this is Saving Private
Such a
Ryan.
I don't know how I got
movie.
that because I've never like seen that movie.
Oh,
but
it's such a good
Such a
movie.
great, such a great movie. Such a great movie. So that was.
that's how powerful his performance was. Was somehow I reached back in the ether of my brain the one time I
Figure it
randomly
out.
saw the movie.
Mm.
You know who I remember in that movie? Matt Damon.
Yes, he played.
Yeah.
He
his
played
role,
Ryan.
Yeah, his role.
Because that was like before he was well
Big time.
known.
Right, and then there was another big actor in there too, right?
There was a few.
There was a few. There was quite a few in that movie.
There was quite a few.
So yeah, that
I've never
was.
seen it. I just know the opening was violent as fuck.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Just niggas blowing up and body parts and shit.
So it came out in 1998.
Oh
Was
my
directed by
gosh.
Steven Spielberg, starring Tom Hanks. The budget was $70 million. How much do you think it made?
Oh,
The
way more
budget
than
was $70 million. How much do you think it made?
300.
All right, we have one for
that.
300.
500.
500 million?
Yes.
You are pretty damn close. It
Ah.
made $485 million.
So short.
So you haven't seen it. You didn't see it fully.
They made us watch it in class, and I only remember 2 parts.
Okay.
2 parts of the whole fucking movie, and none of them got anything to do with Tom Hanks. That's the opening where it's just violence,
Yeah.
violence, and then there's a part where Matt Damon shows up and he has no shirt on. And let me tell you why I remember that, because there was a girl in my class who's like, "This is my favorite part," and then it happens. I'm like,
Oh
fuck?
my god.
you know what I mean?
So what we're going to
Like
say is, what method rating would you give it? So 1 through 5. 5 being the meth, the highest meth you can get. You know, like back in the day,
5.
like four mics. So you giving it 5 meths?
5. That
meths.
movie is
5
so
meths.
good.
I too would give it 5 mics.
I mean,
5 meths.
amazing
5
acting.
meths.
5 meths.
Because even though I haven't seen it, its reputation precedes itself. I've never heard bad things
Just
about this
incredible acting.
Nobody
a
says
great
anything bad about it.
story. Like it was such an original.
movie. Don't nobody be like that
story.
stupid ass Saving Private Ryan ass like that.
Yeah.
I would
Nothing
give
but
it about
good
a
things.
5. It was really
That was
good.
good.
What do you think the number 1 movie
5
was
meths.
in 1998? What do you think the number 1 movie was in 1998? I will give you a method hint.
Okay.
The main character's name was Jack.
Sparrow?
Nope.
Okay, what am I trying to guess again?
Number 1 movie in
Titanic.
1998. Correct.
Oh, that was my next one. That was my next one.
That was the number 1 movie.
Yeah,
It
Jack
did.
Sparrow was like way later.
Way later. So Titanic.
I mean earlier, but later. Like the time period was earlier.
Titanic did $2.2 billion. Billion, bruh.
That movie just blew people
Titanic?
away. Like,
Titanic, 2.2
So that was the
billion.
record when they set the record was 2 billies.
I feel like it
people
was.
were like going back and watching that movie again and
It
again in
didn't-
the
it
theaters,
didn't
like
pop.
over and over again.
Yeah, it didn't pop the first 2 weeks like they do now. It like went and then
Yeah,
went
they
and
were
then
just
went and
going
it-
back,
and it went
going
up.
back.
Yeah.
They
Like,
had like the first weekend wasn't the biggest weekend.
I feel like Jurassic Park was like that too.
Jurassic
What?
Park. Jurassic
Yeah,
Park
because
actually
Jurassic
came
Park
out.
was
Yeah.
like the first
You-
where like the CGI was just
Yo,
so good.
You know
like,
what that is? That's going viral.
Mm.
Like when something happens and then people go home and they're like, "Nigga, you got to see this movie." Like I know you thought it wasn't shit because you saw
Yeah.
the previews and like, "What the fuck is this? This is bullshit again." But I'm telling you, go see the fucking movie. And then they went to see the movie and then they did the same
Yep.
thing. Jurassic Park was that for sure.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, it
'Cause-
definitely was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went
That
and
was
saw
also
I saw Jurassic
Steven
Park
Spielberg,
twice.
It was.
Twice in the theaters.
Jurassic Park was amazing.
Yeah.
Like I still remember quite a few scenes. All right, the last question for this. What do you think the longest running number 1 song was in 1998? I'll give you another method hint. It was a song about 2 women dating the same man.
Oh, Brandy and Monica.
The boy is
Correct.
mine. The boy is
The boy is
mine.
mine.
It went like this.
That video was epic.
That video was so.
It was so epic. It was like when Nas and Jay-Z did a song together, right? Because everybody thought they was beefing, and then they did a fucking song together. I was
Say,
like,
that's not
That
the
wasn't
song.
it. That wasn't it.
that wasn't it.
I was like, well,
You
hold
played the
on.
wrong song.
I was like, what happened? What happened?
Come on, DJ, fire the
It was
DJ,
this one.
fire the DJ.
It
The
was
boy
this
is
one.
mine. The boy is mine.
What a song! Like a great song,
It
great
was
video.
so funny.
Everything about it was
Yeah.
good.
That-
It was
and-
very 90s.
And before
Sorry.
that, you're fine. Brandy, it was that rumor that Brandy and Monica didn't like each
Had
other.
beef.
Yes.
They had
Had beat. That's why I
You
say that
know?
song is like
Yeah, I do remember that.
when Drake and Meek Mill did a song together.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Congratulations. Who got that? Oh, you got that.
I got that.
You got that. Congratulations. Should I give you? Should
I
give,
got Titanic.
I
you
feel
did
like
get
I deserve
Titanic. I'll
it.
give both of y'all a hand clap.
Can I get some horns too? I deserve it.
There we go. There we go.
You get the hand clap. The horns was mine.
Hey, man, let's get into the Method Weekly like we always do about this time. Stop playing footsie over here, Cass. Yeah.
Oh.
The show. So there's not really much in the news that I could find to talk about this week, but I did want to bring up something that's been trending for a while, and that is Elon Musk and Twitter. So he believes freedom of freedom of speech should not be censored. I think we all agree to that. However, there is an amount of hate speech that has been allowed back on the platform. I guess my question to the table is, where do y'all stand on Elon Musk and Twitter?
Trump is a hate speech.
I mean, I just in general about the whole topic about, do you think he's doing a good job? Is it an issue for you? Like, what's your thoughts?
To me, when you take over something, there's immediate chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever there's a new CEO at a company, niggas get laid off.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know what I mean? Like the company is
there's turmoil,
to some perspectives, the company is already in disarray.
Yeah.
So then once it flips, it's going to be in more disarray, and that person just kind of has to work to bring it back. And I feel like that's what he's trying to do, but everybody feel like they know everything. Everybody's like, look at Elon crashing and burning. Twitter might be the most profitable social media company like in the next 10 years if he figures out how to get it like profitable. It's not really profitable. They probably break even or get just enough to pay all their employees or whatever, but is anybody making any money? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that's what Elon wants to do.
I don't think Twitter.
But also, I don't fuck with Elon. Like I say all that to say, I don't.
Let me be clear.
Yeah,
I like Elon a little bit. I don't agree with what he's doing
him at
lately.
First, and then
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
I'm tired of seeing this motherfucker. He's the new Trump. Like Trump was like the hottest thing between like Kanye and Elon Musk. They are the new Trump.
I think DeSantis is more like Trump.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, as far as the news, as far as you can avoid hearing about these motherfuckers.
I don't think Elon has ever taken over a company and failed, right? There's a lot of people who feel like Twitter's going to implode because of all the things that he's doing. Every company that he's ever been a part of has done well. I do agree with Remy said that sometimes there's a lot of turnover and turmoil in the beginning. And that happens. Like people don't know that he started PayPal, right? That's where he made his money.
I mean,
so I don't think that I'm okay with what I don't think Twitter's going to blow up. A lot of people have left Twitter and say, "Oh, Black Twitter's over," and people have quit. But usage is up. You know,
Twitter's not going anywhere. And Twitter's
like McDonald's.
I was just saying, I don't know that I disagree with the internal changes that he's made from what I've read, and I could be wrong. Because from my understanding, he laid off a lot of people who really just were collecting paychecks
for sure.
So to me, that's just good business sense.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, the people that were let go got very good severance packages, which is standard in good business. And you know, I was reading actually a little bit about the whole like cafeteria thing, like the food that they were offering. So he looked at like what they were spending on like food and stuff. And of course, some people that were at Twitter were like, no, it's a lie. We're not spending that much. Well, I mean, who do you believe? I don't know. But I think any smart businessman or woman has to cut corners sometimes. You just have to do that in order for your business to survive. So if I'm looking at all of my employees and I'm seeing that some of them I have 5 employees that are doing one job. It's just not smart business to me to keep all 5 on board. I don't like to see anybody lose their jobs, but I feel like Twitter got to this place where they were just like hiring and hiring and hiring and hiring, like a lot of places, especially during COVID with all the PPP money coming in and all that stuff.
And COVID changed the game.
And they were just creating these positions that really are just useless in my mind.
And
So-
if your goal is to make money, I mean, they wouldn't have sold
Yeah.
it. They wouldn't have sold Twitter if
It's
they were
business.
doing well,
It's business.
right? So
Yeah, that's true.
They wouldn't have sold it, they were doing
if your
well.
shit is hot, you want to keep it.
Yeah.
And
But
they was like,
nothing's
yo,
gonna happen to Twitter.
44 billion. That's it, nigga. Let's go.
Twitter's not going
And,
anywhere.
then, and look at the tug of war that had to happen too. He was like, I'll buy it for 44. And they was like, all right, you can buy it for 44. They have the meeting. And he was like, I don't know. And they're like, nigga, you better buy this shit or we, you know what I mean?
Right.
Turned it into a fight. Like, this is yours, nigga. You already
Right.
took it home.
Exactly.
You did not have had sex with it. It's yours.
Yep.
yeah.
And as far as hate speech, I don't think there's any room for hate speech. I believe in freedom of speech to an extent.
So you fine with
I
Trump being
agree.
back on Twitter?
I'm not fine with it because
So
he only does.
I'm not on Twitter.
I'm really
Twitter's
on
just not my thing because I feel like Twitter you have to constantly be
True.
talking,
True.
and that's not my.
But Trump being on Twitter keeps him in the news. Like if Trump
Mhm.
is not on Twitter, I mean, obviously he's like was president and
But
was
you
on
know
Twitter.
he hasn't tweeted at all.
He doesn't have Twitter.
And let's be honest.
No, they reopened. He gave Twitter back to him.
Yeah, because he's done. He's moved on.
He has his own platform.
Right.
But
He's moved on.
But hate speech has increased since Elon has taken
has
over.
like taken yes.
Has it?
Yeah, I was reading all about it. So, but anyway, that's just a brief topic.
I
It's,
heard.
no, it's an interesting topic. It's
I
a really
heard.
interesting topic.
I heard, but also Twitter is kind of free anyway.
Listen,
Like-
man, I can watch so much porn on Twitter.
I was
There's
gonna
porn
say,
on
I see
Twitter.
a lot of
Like, it's
nudity.
nothing
There is
censored on there.
OnlyFans
Right,
would not
nothing.
survive without Twitter.
Well,
Yeah.
and here's the thing:
True,
if you want to be
Twitter goes
relevant
down,
on Twitter,
OnlyFans
you
goes
have to
down.
be controversial.
true.
So also consider
Very
that
true.
he bought a company that other companies thrive on.
Yeah,
OnlyFans does not happen without Twitter.
Move your mic.
Yeah.
There we go.
OnlyFans does not happen.
he gets so
Without
passionate. I
Twitter.
love it.
No, that's a good point. But yeah. So anyway, I just think I know. I remember when TikTok, everyone was freaking out about TikTok, saying TikTok was going to
It's
crash.
so silly.
Going, get rid of your accounts, TikTok. We gotta let it go. And then I was like, it's too much money to be made to get rid of TikTok.
China's listening and all that. I'm like, what?
I mean, they are though.
So I say that or say that.
They are.
I feel like
But
there's too
here's
much
the
money
thing,
to be made
like,
on Twitter.
how is that relevant to me?
Oh.
Everyone's listening this point.
Everybody's
Depends on if
listening.
China take over. If China
Listen,
take over.
The government knows what I'm doing every minute of every day.
Every time you say
You know what it
all
is?
cookies.
So consider this, not to be all red pill, but consider this. What if China took over the world? Just
Okay.
happenstance, took over the world.
You know what? I can't control that shit.
No, listen.
Yeah.
Just hypothetically speaking, they take over the world. And if they take over the world, they have information on us through TikTok now. Because they don't have no information on us otherwise.
I'm
As
sure
far as
they
we
do.
know,
I mean, our servers, the American servers are here. Anyway, I'm not going down that road.
that's a conversation.
not-
That's a
yes.
conversation. But you pro TikTok, I'm anti
Yeah.
TikTok. That's just
You are anti-TikTok.
I
You are.
I
I'm
love
very-
TikTok.
it's not on my phone.
I love
I
TikTok.
ain't doing it.
He is
so
a
much.
tweeter.
China is
Oh,
not.
he's a tweeter.
He's a tweeter.
Yeah,
You're a tweeter.
Yeah, Elon Musk can have my shit, but not China.
Not China. The guy you
Elon
despise.
Musk.
The
I
guy
trust
you
Elon
despise
Musk.
the most.
Oh my god.
Hey man, let's get in here. Let's
That's
get into
terrible.
what we came to sit down and talk about.
Method
The method message.
Method message.
Mm.
This week's method message, we are talking about compatibility.
Method massage. I feel like that's what we got to call this episode.
We're gonna make
Method
it make it French.
massage.
Make it French.
What lets you know how compatible you are more than like a massage?
Say what? What'd you say?
What lets you know how much
He's
more?
doing like a play
it's
on
like,
words.
It's like love is if touch is your love language. A massage is like
Oh, I love a good massage.
you know what I'm saying?
I do
Especially,
too.
That's the first
I do
loving,
too.
one of the first very personal loving embraces.
But I will say I'm not really great at massages because
Me either.
I'd be wanting to fuck after like
Exactly,
10 minutes.
But
exactly.
Damn.
isn't that
Listen,
always the
I'm like,
point?
Hey Jay,
It's like
Jay,
right
yeah,
there,
it's like this. It's
That's
like you.
not always
no.
the point.
No, listen.
I think so.
Think about
I
this.
think so.
Think-
Because if you're
of
rubbing
course.
me, I'm getting turned on.
Yeah, for sure.
Think about this. You're rubbing. As soon as I see her back, I'm rubbing that, and then like as soon as I get close to the ass, I'm going to.
Now, see, I don't want you to
I'm
move.
going to
I
touch
don't
it.
want you to like move too fast, though.
Yeah, you gotta
But
pretend.
I
want you to
said,
You
finish
gotta
the
pretend.
massage.
You gotta pretend. Gotta pretend a
And
little
then-
bit.
we gonna finish the
Ease
massage
into it.
during the sex.
Yes.
You want more of this
No.
massage?
That is a lie, because after y'all are done, y'all are just done. Y'all are.
That's
No,
fine.
that's
That
not
is
true for me. I'm a cuddler. I'm
Why
a
is your
cuddler.
mic turned again?
I'm more likely to give you a
keeps
massage
turning
after
it.
sex than I am before.
All right, but that's not the topic. That's not the
All
topic.
right.
The topic is
Compatibility.
compatibility. What is the difference between compatibility and chemistry? What is the difference between
Ooh, I
compatibility
like that.
and chemistry?
One is chemical and the other one is physical.
I don't think so.
Right. Compatibility. No, compatibility is emotional.
So you want me to?
I think it's emotional.
Okay. Compatibility is emotional. I can see that.
I mean, it probably depends.
And
on
what
the
is
person.
chemistry? Chemistry is physical.
Chemistry is like, I think chemistry can happen between two people as soon as they meet. It's like love at first sight.
Mhm.
That's pure chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel like it's love at first sight. So as soon as you see this person, as soon as the person sees you, you're like, you know what, I fuck with that person. And then you just roll with it. That's chemistry. And I feel like that's where it starts. And if you have that naturally all the time or whenever, then you got good chemistry.
I can agree
And
with
then,
that.
and then of course there's levels. There's, depending on what we're talking about, sexual chemistry. You know what I mean?
What do you think the difference is, Cass, amigos, between
That's another
compatibility
topic, by
and
the way.
chemistry?
I think chemistry is a short-term high and compatibility is a long-term high.
Yep.
Mm.
I like
So
it.
chemistry,
I
like Remy
like it.
said, is like that immediate, that energy, that spark. It's it's just that automatic attraction. But compatibility is what is going to sustain you.
See, y'all pretty smart people. Y'all pretty smart people.
That's that Saving Private Ryan right there. That's that
agree with y'all.
Jurassic Park.
This is what they say. Chemistry. They say while chemistry is the desire to go towards someone,
Mhm.
Okay.
Compatibility is what makes us want to stay there.
Ooh.
Chemistry is what we look for initially. Is
Yes.
surface level.
Oh no.
And instinct. It's
That sounds
a
bad.
hold on. It's a desire that
Yeah.
sparks relationships to begin.
Yep.
That's chemistry. Compatibility, on the other hand, is the vehicle that carries the relationship through life's curveballs and increases the romantic love or bond we feel for our partners.
I'm so smart.
So-
Yeah.
Based off of what you said, I hear chemistry is like the key, and then like compatibility is being locked in the room.
It's the deeper part. It's the deeper part. It's the deeper part,
Being
right?
locked in the room though, like it's like when you don't have you don't even have a choice at this point. You're just like
Well,
it's when the attachment.
You don't have a
begins.
choice.
It's when the attachment begins. I think when you're compatible, if compatibility is like good,
I'll use sex as an example.
Mm.
Good sex is what's going to get my interest and keep me interested, but only for so long.
Mhm.
Because long term, there are other things that are more important, like values and long term goals. Are morals aligned? Do we want the same things in terms of marriage and kids, stuff like that?
Yeah,
like,
I think about
good sex
chemistry.
is cool, but what about
Like,
this?
yes.
I look at chemistry like also like when let's say we go on a date
Yeah.
and she's just laughing at all my jokes. I'm laughing at her joke because she's funny. Oh, she making me feel good. That's good chemistry.
It's a vibe.
But
It's a vibe.
what's her morals?
Right.
What's her moral compass say?
Yeah.
Right? Are we compatible with being nice to the waitress?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like simple things like that
Yeah.
that bring you a little bit closer, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Do you agree or disagree?
Chemistry is like instant compatibility,
Mhm.
and compatibility is like
And like Jay's definition,
it's like long chemistry. It's the
superficial.
periodic table.
It's superficial.
Chemistry is
is
superficial.
Right on.
I think chemistry is probably that thing that initially is to falling in love,
Yes.
right? It's like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm falling in love because I see we have this chemistry, this surface level stuff that we connect with.
Mhm.
The sex is good. He does everything
You
I
make
say.
me laugh. I
Yeah.
enjoy hanging out,
They say the definition of compatible is capable of existing together in harmony. Do you agree with
But
that?
is it constant harmony? Because I think you can be compatible
That's
Wait.
a good
and
question.
and
the
have
definition of what?
discord.
Of compatible. The definition of compatible. I agree. I don't think you're always going to be in
Yeah.
harmony.
Oh, harmony.
Harmony.
Harmony sounds like some bullshit.
Oh, unison. Unison.
It
Harmony.
sounds like unison.
Like some bullshit.
Harmony don't sound real.
I mean, you're never always going to be in a constant state of harmony,
No.
right? That's not. I don't think that's what.
That's
Okay,
not
so the
realistic.
idea of harmony is that I can live.
To me,
around
that's a
this
red
person.
flag too.
Always happy, always.
If somebody tells me
disagreement.
like,
'cause they-
oh, we never have fights, we never get in arguments,
something's wrong.
we
Some-
just, I'm
someone-
like,
yeah.
something's wrong there.
No, you just don't know that you're fighting.
right?
Somebody.
Like
It's a
somebody's
cold
not
war.
somebody's not being honest.
It's a cold
That's
war.
That's what,
Somebody cheating.
or somebody's
Somebody
cheating.
cheating.
Mhm.
Like y'all not talking because somebody cheating. That's funny.
I don't like that definition. They should. There needs.
That's the definition from Webster.
They need to
Webster
change
Dictionary.
it. They need to change it. So I actually asked my girlfriends about this topic,
Okay, what they say?
and a lot of them they automatically went to astrology. Do you all? I'm curious to know if men look at signs, like when you're dating somebody. Do you compare your astrological signs
So I
With
personally,
Mhm.
with anyone you're dating, for
with
sure.
with anyone you're dating?
I personally do not believe in astrology,
Oh,
but I say that admitting that when you read what it says about an Aquarius,
Mhm.
I am almost Aquarius to a T, right? But I don't. So I compare people's signs
Mhm.
only because I know that people believe it, and
Yeah,
if they believe it, that's how they're gonna act and carry themselves.
yeah.
So I'm like, oh, you're a Taurus? Okay, let me read what these Taurus people are about.
Mhm.
That way you can see what kind of things what kind of trait they might have.
Yeah,
So I understand it, but personally, I wouldn't not date someone because the astrology says we're not compatible.
yeah.
Like I wouldn't,
agree.
I wouldn't do that. But
I
there are some
agree.
people who would though.
I'm the type that if I'm dating somebody, I'll probably look up like what our compatibility is.
Yeah.
And then if I like it, I'll be like, all right, see that? But see that? You see that? Look, that's us right there. You don't see
And like,
that? You
All,
don't
Re-
see
all
us?
the good stuff. All
It
the good stuff.
reinforces
But if
All
I-
the
your.
good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but if I don't like it, I'll be like, that astrology is some bullshit anyway. And I just see how that goes.
It says
So-
it says we have a great sex life together.
Right.
Right.
I
So,
like looking at it. I do like looking
it's
at it.
fun. What
But I don't
I'm-
lean on it or depend on it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like how Jay is, where my girl is really into it. She loves astrology. So I learn things about it just off listening to
Yeah.
her. And then I'll get around somebody, especially when you're around like multiple people who are into it or whatever.
Mhm.
So they'll get into a conversation and they'll be like, oh, you're like an Aries. And I'm like, I guess, okay, so this shit I'm doing right now, this is Aries shit. Okay, got it. Like,
Are
know
you
what
an
I mean?
Aries?
I'm an Aries.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know what fuck Aries is do. I know there's like a ram and maybe we stubborn. I don't fucking know.
But I feel like those things, like you could read traits from a Scorpio and be like, oh,
Yes.
that's me. That's me too.
Yeah.
But we're so focused on the opposite for that person
Mm-hmm.
that we just say, okay, this is
Wait,
what a Scorpio
you a Scorpio?
does.
I'm a
she's not.
Gemini.
She's a Gemini.
You a Gemini.
And I always say this.
See, where's everybody
Because
'Cause
Geminis
Geminis
get
are
a bad rap,
two-faced.
baby.
like? We do.
Geminis are two-
Geminis and
They
Scorpios
have
get
two
a bad rap.
faces. They have two faces.
That's what they
Geminis.
say.
We're
If we do
complex.
them bad, if
We're
we do-
complex.
Okay, that's the way she put it.
But I
We
always
complex.
say I never felt like
We
she
got
has
two
Gemini
complexions.
energy. She doesn't have Gemini energy though, but my friend
You don't have
TJ,
to- really?
yeah, she
Well,
has
I'm
Gemini
on. So
energy.
I'm on the cusp.
Unless
so
she's faking it.
I'm
You
on
know
the-
where to you know where to
I'm on
keep
the
that
Taurus Gemini cusp. So I actually
shit.
have traits from both.
So what are your Taurus traits?
Actually, I don't know. I know more of my Gemini traits.
Taurus. That's I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know much about
Actually,
that.
ain't that Mayish?
But I do think
June.
I don't know.
June,
I
yes.
think people put too much emphasis on astrology compatibility,
Yeah.
which it's a made up belief system. So
Is it?
it is
I mean, why be so
It is.
accurate though? Why be so accurate?
because it's so wide range.
Who?
It's so
Listen,
wide range,
And they got this shit from the stars.
But I also believe
They got it from the look. Ain't nobody like. I'm sorry. Ain't nobody just like look down and be like, you know what? I feel like I got a thing. somebody was looking up and be like, yo, I feel like that's some shit. And then they looked up and we all like, yeah, I'm an Aries.
Astrology has evolved for sure.
So here's one, just not to completely jump off the topic or whatever, but one thing I've always wondered is, do people with the same birthday act more alike than people that are just the same sign? Because if you're born on the same exact day, especially if you're within the same year, that puts you in a Chinese zodiac too. You matching on
that's true.
You know, numerology. What's
numerology?
Numerology is a thing too. So I mean, that all plays a factor. I don't know, man. I feel
like there's some correlations, but we'll never know.
I think it's what you want to make it the correlation to be. Right, because
that's true too. I think you convince yourself sometimes. Yeah,
because we can choose like all the things that they say are the negative about an Aquarius. I've gone out of my way to make sure that I'm no longer those things. I've chosen not to do it, so I'm seen as more compatible.
You
say people.
You be throwing the bad Aquarius shit away.
Like they said, like if it says like for one, it says
so
Aquarius.
What Aquarius be doing that you don't do no more?
They say Aquarius are like
we got to do a signs episode.
They say they were unemotional. Being, I'm like, I'm very emotional. But at one point in my life, I was very distant and disconnected from my emotions.
For sure. So you definitely gained more emotion. To me, you seem unemotional.
Really?
But I'm emotional. I just am emotional. You know I'm emotional. You know what I mean? So to me, like I can see where the disconnect is.
That's interesting.
I think people mistake balance as unemotional. I'm very balanced emotionally.
Well, the other part of it is
I don't have the highs, I don't have the lows. Yeah. I'm very like
I can see that, and I'm definitely highs and lows like a motherfucker. So I can see you as
I'm highs and lows too, Remy.
I can see you as you don't seem emotional, but I know that you are because I'm a man.
Yeah, you know and if you see the stuff I talk about and the things I speak about, you can tell that I'm a very
emotional the way
person.
A man is emotional.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to anyway. So yeah,
we don't talk about that enough. We don't talk about how men are emotional. How we're all emotional.
So when we think about being compatible with someone, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Like, what's the characteristics or attributes? Like, you say, okay, I'm compatible with this person. What makes it like? What's the first thing? Like for me, I would say like compatibility. Oh yeah, I'm very compatible with this person. I would say like, oh, we like to both wake up early in the morning, right? So that's something that I think about compatibility. Is there any other like I'm looking for like
schedule is something you look at or like, routine?
Yeah, is it a routine? What's some of the first things you think about when it comes to compatibility in dating and relationships?
I look at interests. So
like the hobbies
that can be hobbies, that can be like things that I enjoy doing, that I may want to enjoy doing with my partner. So like I like traveling, I like working out, I like being active and outdoors. So I would look for those things.
Okay. The hobbies, compatibility.
So interests, hobbies. I also think about like how I am in that person's presence in terms of compatibility. So like, am I like being my true self and is he embracing that and loving it, and also being his true self, and it's like meshing.
So compatibility is being able to be authentic.
I have a friend who said to me, she said one thing that makes her understand sexual compatibility, which we'll get to, I assume, is if under certain circumstances her vagina is wet.
Ooh.
Like actively. You know what I mean? She's like, okay, so that did okay, all right, well, I got it. I know I can see this moving forward.
So physical compatibility.
It's one of the first things she looks for.
Okay.
Being in touch with your body. So yeah, I just want to share that.
If I get hard when I kiss her, is that compatibility? Or am I being horny?
Boy,
I'm just saying.
That nigga preaching now.
Is that compatibility?
Hell yeah! I think physical.
Nigga, hell yeah.
I think physical response, yes, is a sign of compatibility.
Or is that chemistry?
I think it's both.
I think it's both. I think
it fits under both.
Because here's the thing.
It's like while we're kissing, do we want to fuck?
Compatibility long term, the physical has to be there.
Okay, I see it.
It's got to be there long term.
Yeah.
I think multiple things have to happen for it to be compatibility. I think if you just get sexually active in that moment, that's definitely chemistry. But I think if you're both sexually active at the same, like if you're doing it and she's also doing it, like you know what I mean? Like if it's just me, that's not compatibility. I'm just fucking horny and you're whatever. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
But also some
Jay,
people
you seem like you disagree. Maybe.
I don't.
Some people also don't
disagree.
like kissing that much.
I just
That's
wonder.
weird to me.
I like
people
kissing,
don't.
but I don't like. So, okay, compatibility. It's style of kissing as well. Like I'm not.
That's the truth.
I'm not a. I prefer not to do French kissing, but I can do it
Really?
if my woman's into it. Like I would do it, but I don't want to be like I don't want you to spit like all over my like.
Well, I
You know what I
mean, good French
Yeah.
kissing.
Good French kissing.
People who say they don't like to kiss weird me out.
I like to kiss. I like to kiss, but I don't like to. I don't like.
It's strange.
I don't need your tongue all the way down my throat though. Like I just.
No. I
Not
mean,
that BIG shit.
like good kissing to me is like a mix of. It's a combination of soft, deep, open mouth, closed mouth, tongue, no tongue.
For
You're
me,
just
it's about we gotta both be doing the same thing.
I agree.
So I'll do the array because I like kissing.
Yeah.
I'll do the entire array, and I've been in one period of my life where I was like, this is how I like it, and then you move on and you start trying different things, and you just kiss different people. And you start kissing different. So it's like depending on the person I'm with, as long as they're not doing something stupid. You know what I mean? Like as long as we can actually kiss and I can actually like maneuver around whatever the fuck you're doing. Okay, it's gonna be fine.
So going back to compatibility characteristics, something that I don't think people think about is bedtime schedule. Right? Like being compatible with someone is based on like the sleep schedule. Like if I go to bed early and you go to bed till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, it's probably it's going to be some issues.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, especially if you want to go to bed with the person next to you.
Possibly. I mean, it depends. It depends if you're the kind of person that wants to sleep next to somebody or whatever, or if you type, because some people just fall asleep to the TV. You know what I mean? So if you decide to fall asleep to the TV,
but that's also back to compatibility. I like to be in silence.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Me and Rhonda are like, we go back and forth. As long as the TV isn't so loud as waking her up, she don't give a fuck. But she'll sleep with it off. She'll sleep with it on.
But is that where compromise can come in?
Of course.
For sure. You definitely have to compromise on some of the compatibility for sure. Like, otherwise it won't work.
Yeah.
It can't be all your way.
Yeah. Because I'm super routine. And I feel bad for anybody that dates me. Because I'm very rigid about my schedule. I like to go to bed early. I like to be up early. I like to have my set schedule. I work out. I do the same thing like clockwork every day. And so it's hard. Sometimes I worry that it's going to be hard for somebody to come into my life because I don't want to disrupt my routine. But if the person is worth it, I need to be able to say I'm open to compromise without jeopardizing the things that make me feel good. I like having a routine.
Yeah. Well, we all are creatures of habit, right? Yeah. And so I agree with you. I go to bed early. I wake up early. And so for me, going to bed at 10 o'clock, like I would like my woman to be next to me.
Yeah.
Mainly because I probably want to fuck before I go to bed. Oh, sorry.
Are you a nighttime? You like nighttime sex?
I love nighttime sex. And what I don't want is for me to go to bed at 10 o'clock. And you come in at 1 a.m. when you want to fuck. Now you done woke me up.
Now you've woken me up out of my beautiful sleep. And I'm not going to really be into it.
I've never experienced a woman who goes to bed later than me.
What time do you go to bed? Are you a night owl?
No, not really. But
well, wait. What time
I'm
do you go
more
to bed?
I'm more likely to just be in the bed, just awake.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like she goes hard to go to sleep. She's like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I gotta do to be out at this time. And if I don't allow that, she's like, why are you fucking with me? And I've adapted. I've adapted. So I've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, I know about when I have her time, and then obviously it's gonna get to this point. And if I get her into like a movie or a show or something, then she'll probably stay up. But even then, sometimes she's like, fuck this shit, I'm going to
my body's on the schedule. I'm pretty much
I wish my body was on the schedule.
Like 9:30, I'm definitely like, okay.
What about like
time to like lay down.
Temperature of the house compatibility?
Ooh.
Right? If you like it on a certain temperature, you're like, and what do? Do you not look, I dated somebody I'll see that next. Go ahead. But what do you do? what do you do about temperature? Like it's different.
I don't know what this is gonna sound like, but I'm gonna just say it. I paid the heat bill. I just paid a bill. And then I just put it on whatever, and she'd be like, all right,
So
whatever.
you control it.
But if she complains, obviously I'm be like, all right, whatever. Because I'm not gonna listen to her complain.
Manly statement.
I said I was just gonna say it.
No, I like
That's just
it.
what I do.
I kind of like that.
I can't go to sleep hot. I can't go to bed hot.
That's like if you mow the lawn and then she come outside and be like, why you ain't do it this way? And I'm like, I mowed this motherfucker.
That's right. I cannot go to bed
It's my
hot.
lawn today.
I hate fans.
No ceiling
now,
fan.
I have a ceiling fan and I keep it on low.
Me too.
But like
Me too.
this would be too much for me over my bed.
This is low.
But see, mine's a little bit slower.
You got a fancy ceiling fan. That's what it is.
I dated a guy and I used to dread staying at his house because he had one of those box floor fans.
Those are so loud.
Those are ridiculous.
Those are the worst ones. Those are the worst
and
ones.
The
old school hood fan.
It used to put him to sleep.
That's
and
the
I'd
old
be
school
laying
hood
there
fan.
like
The humming. Yeah.
I want this shit
Listen,
off right now.
Everybody got that motherfucking fan. I don't know
Oh
where they
my
got it from. Kmart, Montgomery Ward, whatever the fuck it was.
That big ass fan. I mean, they're talking like.
I hate it.
In 1990, what is it, 92, 93, all they saw was that fan. You ain't find other fans. You couldn't find a fan of no other type.
The worst.
All right,
I remember we had a fan in our house, and it was like the size of J, and it had 3 blades.
Small.
And just,
it was small. It was small.
Yeah. No.
Like
no
kid. They was like, kids, don't go in the kitchen. Just don't go in the kitchen.
You.
And I was supposed to keep the house cool.
No.
I don't mind fans. I don't mind ceiling fans, as long as they're not loud. I'm a very light sleeper.
We're
So
the
that goes
ceiling
back.
fan generation, I think. Because before that, there wasn't no really ceiling fans is some newish
I like
shit.
ceiling fans.
Like people talk about like the internet, but like ceiling fans.
Yeah.
They wasn't really doing ceiling fans before. They was putting like heat lamps and shit on the ceiling. I went into like an old school bathroom in New Orleans one time, and on the ceiling of the bathroom, it was just something to just dry you. It was heat.
Oh my god.
So you get out the shower and then set the house on fire.
That's hilarious.
Like I was so scared.
I don't remember that one. But yeah, so I say all that to say, like listening, like I'm a very light sleeper. And so I dated somebody who was a snorer.
Oh.
Right. So compatibility, again, go back to compatibility, like it was hard for me. Saying to the point where I had to actually think about like, okay, is this someone that I could date long term because of the snoring?
Yeah,
right.
Especially if you're a light sleeper
Or are you being superficial?
Are you being superficial? So I decided I really do like this woman. So I went out and bought some earplugs.
See?
He gave it a shot. He was like, I'm gonna be proactive. I'm not gonna be reactive.
Yeah. When you like someone, you try to.
Because it's.
I'm gonna solve the problem.
I hate to say it's a little thing because it's something that bothers you, right?
Yeah.
But it's like if she's checking off all the boxes with like the big things,
Like, damn, she sucked my dick.
you know, like
I'm just saying the things.
Man, that's a big one.
Top 3 things.
then can you get over it?
Yeah.
So here's the saying. I want y'all. So I'm gonna put air quotes. We're just not compatible, or we aren't compatible. Is that phrase misused? Because I feel like people use that as an excuse for not really trying with someone. Again, talking about sacrificing or compromising.
Yes.
Right. I hear so many times people say, "Well, what happened with so and so? We're just not compatible."
Oh,
Is that phrase misused?
I really hate to say yes because I've used that phrase before.
Well, okay, but how did you use it? Why did you use it?
No, and I did not use it the right way. Looking back.
How did you use
you
it?
mean?
Oh, okay.
I said exactly that.
you was
like
trying to just
when
get out
somebody
the
asked
shit?
me, I was like, oh, I said, I used the phrase, we just weren't a good fit.
You know what that sounds like to me? Was they ugly?
No.
You was like, you ain't want to say you ugly. So like, it just ain't gonna happen, baby. It's just,
No,
I can't do it. Something about you, I don't know what it is. I just can't say it.
I feel like a lot of people use that now just because I feel like our generation and the younger generations, we just give up too easily.
I do agree that we give up too easy for sure.
We see
I've
one
been
red
working-
flag.
Since the boomers.
Yeah, we see like
like
one red flag
since
and we're like,
millennials.
nope,
Like,
this
fuck
person's
that
not a
shit.
good fit.
Nigga,
That's
I'm gonna
it.
just Google it. I don't have to go and sit in this library and look for this information. I
Yeah.
can just hop on Google. It's like everything is easier. We're on Tinder.
Well, that's the thing. It's easy, right? It's easy
Yeah.
to just cut and run now.
Tin-
And
Tinder.
let me hop on Hinge or Tinder
Do y'all
and just
think-
find a replacement.
Do y'all
It's
think
just super easy.
Tinder
It is
has
easy.
fucked up the dating game.
Online dating is
I think. Go ahead.
I think it
Not
has.
not online dating.
I mean, that is online.
Oh,
I
dating,
remember
so-
the beginning of online
Why
dating because I was
Tinder?
part of it.
Why just Tinder then?
I was on Black Planet. You remember Black Planet?
I remember Black Planet.
Black Planet didn't fuck the game up.
So
It
here's
fucked
what
up
I-
some neighborhoods, maybe.
Here's what I would say. I would say that social media and online dating
Mhm.
gave people who are introverted or who are extremely shy an avenue to meet people and connect. Because there are so many people who
That's a good way to
aren't
look at
great
it.
at approaching women or women
Okay.
approaching men.
Okay.
It's like, okay, well, now I have easier access without the rejection in your face. So if you don't want me, fuck it, that's fine. I'll go on to the next person. So I think it has helped in that regard, but I do think it has caused a deeper disconnect because people think they have more options
Yeah.
than they really do.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have that many options. Just because all your homegirls say you beautiful in every picture and your shit don't sing, don't mean
Or
that.
it's just a temporary option, right? So I
Yeah.
have found when I go online, I get off really quick because
Whoa.
the
She said,
response
that's what she
is like
said.
it's like men just automatically want to lead with sex or something sexual,
That's
and I'm
what
like,
she said.
okay,
That
you
is what
just don't
she
have
said.
like we're not here for the same reasons.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
That's-
not just trying to hop into bed with you.
Yeah, that's what she said.
But that goes back to compatibility online dating too, though. It's like what are you comfortable like? Do you match in conversation? Do you match in like your goals or what you're there for?
Yeah.
You're saying men lead with sex, but you're there for a deeper connection. It's like we're not compatible in this conversation.
Yes.
Mm.
You know, like I feel like a lot of times I'm not compatible with a lot of women because I'm carrying the conversation.
Yeah.
If I'm asking you all the questions, you answer it, then you don't ask me anything back. We're not compatible.
Yes.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, you know, we're not compatible.
I have a quote.
That's true.
The quote is, I find social media to be a soul-sucking void of meaningless affirmation.
You find social media to be a
That's
soul
from Wednesday.
Barack Obama. No, yeah, Wednesday Adams said that.
Wednesday Adams.
Y'all both watched that show, huh? I haven't
It's
watched
really
it yet.
good.
I don't watch it, but I saw the quote and I was like, all right.
It's good. I've started watching it.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. And dating is like dating is like serious as fuck anyway.
Yeah.
And then it's on like this bullshit. That could be some bullshit. Nigga, Elon Musk bought Twitter and he was just like, all right, he bought it like one of us will go buy a TV. like, do I really want to do this? I don't know. Let me take it back.
That
Oh
man
no,
got
they're
a
not
lot-
gonna let me take it back. I
that
guess I
man got
gotta
a lot
keep
of money.
it.
He got a
That's
lot
what
of money.
happened. That's what Elon Musk did. He went to like Best Buy, saw a TV, took it, brought it back, and it was like, we're not taking that. Nigga, you put that in the car already. Like, how we know you didn't watch something on this already?
So have either of you used the term "we were just not compatible"?
Yes, every day. Every relationship. How you think
I've only
it's
used
the
it.
best way to get out of a relationship?
I'm sure I've used it at some point,
Yeah.
but I feel like the first thing I can think of in my mind is I used it after something else broke down.
Mm.
Like meaning
Okay.
like the communication broke down. We no longer had great communication.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you try to repair it, and someone was like, "Well, what happened?" Well, you know what? We just weren't compatible because, you know, I was overly communicating, and the moment I stopped communicating, it became a bigger issue.
So when you hit like a big roadblock,
Yeah,
something that would be important long term.
for sure.
Yeah.
But of course, in the early dating phases of online dating, trying to bring both topics together, I absolutely say, you know what? Like, I won't date right now. I won't date a woman. I won't even swipe right on a woman who is a Christian.
Okay.
Like, we're not compatible.
Okay.
We're not compatible, right? It's just,
But what if I feel like Christianity can be so broad in terms of level of faith and belief, though.
I agree.
Like,
with you.
I consider myself Christian, but I also consider myself very spiritual.
Yeah. No, I do agree. You're not wrong. However, in my experience
Okay.
of dating women who have said they are Christian, has always come down to an incompatibility
Yeah.
because I am not Christian.
Yeah.
Even though I'm very spiritual, as you know,
Right.
they just had an issue with it. And so
Yeah.
at some point it was
Okay.
some kind of issue. I'm just like, so I would rather, now I think I'm hurting myself by doing that, right? I'm limiting my pool of options by not dating women who are Christian, but I'm tired of the rejection, right?
That makes sense.
I'm tired of being rejected and saying, oh, I can't be with you because blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I said, you know what? I am not even going down that road anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so I think religion plays compatibility for sure.
Faith
That's part of
plays
it.
a
Faith.
huge part,
Yeah.
a very big part in it. Absolutely.
Have y'all ever been with someone where the compatibility was good, but the sexual chemistry was not? How did you handle it?
Oh.
Have you ever been with someone
Oh, it's the
where the
sexy hour.
compatibility was
It's after
good,
nine- it's-
but the
it's
sexual
after eight.
chemistry was not?
Where the
Compat-
compatibility was good, but
You had
the
good compatibility,
sexual-
but the sexual chemistry,
So we feel good on a date, but we don't feel good in the bedroom.
you feel good when you're hanging out, you laugh, you have a good time, and et cetera, et cetera.
And then you get to the bedroom and
And
it's
then
like
y'all-
Sansa Stark.
Yeah, it's
like, are we like full on sex, or are we talking like even something like a terrible kisser?
full on sex or head.
But it can start with that. It can start with that.
Terrible
If
kisser,
somebody
for
kisses
sure.
badly,
Oh,
do you
gosh.
even want to fuck that person?
No,
Right?
I
You're
have
like,
no
nigga, I don't want
desire to.
I don't want those lips nowhere on me.
Exactly.
You can keep that
No.
shit. I don't know what you've been doing with them, but it ain't the right thing. You've been talking.
Yes, that's happened to me. Yes.
Yeah.
And so how I handle it. So for me, I feel that the physical intimacy is a big part of compatibility long term.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just an automatic no.
Yeah. So sexual chemistry can't be
Eddie said,
can't be
isn't that
built. It can't
friend
be
zone?
built. Huh?
I said, Eddie said, isn't that friend zone?
What is friend zone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Eddie.
He said that's
That's friend zone.
I have definitely not dated someone because our sexual chemistry was not good, but we had good compatibility in other areas.
Excuse me.
But I feel like I tried to help the sexual chemistry become better. But
yeah.
But it just didn't work. It
Well,
wasn't
you can't
clicking.
force it,
Can't
though.
force it.
Like you just
Can't
can't
force
force it.
Well, I feel like it's more pressure on men in the beginning, the first time you have sex,
Mhm.
because I never want to cut.
You gotta prove yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to cut no one
Like,
off from
can I make
from the
this woman
first
come?
time. Right? So much pressure on men.
You
the first
gotta make her
time.
come the first time.
Definitely given like a second chance, but
Yeah.
not a third.
Not to so
Damn.
you would do it a second date if we can make you
Damn.
come on the first sex.
I've given it a second shot, but
Or not a second
third.
date,
But
I
see,
guess,
okay,
a-
so for
an
me, I'm
additional
not
sex.
just talking about just the getting me to orgasm. I'm talking about, are we vibing physically? And I know you all know what I'm talking about. Are our bodies
course.
moving well together?
Yeah.
Is there physical
is
chemistry
everything
outside
just
of
kind of
the orgasm?
there? Like
Yeah.
that's important.
Is
It
this
is,
fun?
it is.
Am I at least having fun
Yes.
whether I'm coming or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's like
I
it's
don't
like
co- I
it's like
don't
watching
come
a
every
movie.
time.
It's like watching a movie with a shitty ending.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you watch a movie and it's like, okay, this is dope all the way through, and then you get to the
Yeah.
end and it's like, oh, M. Night Shyamalan, this is terrible.
Yes.
So I guess
Oh, I
that's-
love
M. Night Shyamalan
Shyamalan,
sex. That's what that is.
Nah,
Do
he,
you?
He don't make
You
good
don't love
movies,
him.
though. He don't
Nobody.
make good movies,
Y'all
though. He
didn't
don't
like
make
The
good
Village?
movies, though.
There's three people that don't nobody love: M. Night Shyamalan, Kanye West, and Elon Musk. The niggas don't get no
listen,
love.
I like M. Night Shyamalan.
But I guess that's
They-
really a thing, though. You think about like sexual compatibility.
Yeah.
We have sexual chemistry, but is that a difference? Is sexual compatibility the same thing as sexual chemistry?
Ooh.
Oh, come on. Now you just throwing,
no,
now you just
it's-
throwing words together.
No, that's
No,
a good
it's a
question.
good question. Like, is there a difference?
Yes.
Because we could both like to talk
Yes.
during sex, but
Okay.
that
okay.
don't mean that our bodies move together.
I'm
Okay,
gonna say
how about
yes.
this? How about this? I think sexual chemistry is when we don't necessarily have to have a conversation about it and we just kind of figure it out, or our bodies figure it out.
Okay.
But you're sexually compatible if you've had to like adapt or change something. Because sometimes, so I think sexual chemistry is sexual compatibility, but to have like full sexual compatibility, you probably have to do more. It has to be work. You know what I mean? It's not just gonna come
Mhm.
naturally, because
Yeah.
chemistry is natural, compatibility is earned.
What do you think, Jay?
Boom.
I asked a question. I don't know. Like, I feel like when you have sex with someone, the more you have sex, the better you get in general. You learn their body, she learned your body. And so I feel like the chemistry can become better the more confident you get. But I think compatibility is definitely different than that, because if someone likes to be tied up, and I don't like to tie people up, but I do, by the way, like I love tying women up, then that's an issue. We're not compatible. But that doesn't mean we can't. She would have, or he would have to compromise and say, okay, I'm willing to try this with you because I love you. I want to be with you.
I agree.
Try to make it work. We're not compatible right now, but we can become sexual compatible.
Right.
You know?
I agree.
So
I agree with that for sure. Compatibility, sexual compatibility to me is more like what you said. It's more like do we agree on our hard no's and our hard yeses in the bedroom? Whereas the chemistry is more like the feeling, the energy. Are we moving well together? But the compatibility, do we like are our bodies in tune with each other at the same time of day? You know, like if I'm somebody that hates being woken up in the middle of the night to have sex, but you love middle of the night sex,
it's a problem.
We're probably going to have some issues.
We're going to have issues.
Because I'm going to want my sleep at some point until you know, and then you're going to be feeling rejected. And that's going to create problems.
I hate being woken up for sex. Unless
I don't like it.
Unless it's in the morning.
Let me get a voice.
Go ahead.
Let me get a voice.
What voice do you want?
Just give me a voice.
I'm going to take that back. I like it when I don't have to be anywhere in the morning, early in the morning.
Facts. Middle what a nice is. Middle what a nice is.
What are you saying? Middle what a nice is.
It's a song from the 90s. It was Backstreet Boys, I think.
Oh, I don't
Middle
know.
of the night
sex.
So have y'all ever heard of one-way compatibility?
No.
All right, let me play this clip.
No.
That's not
Okay.
That don't even
Let's
make
hear
sense.
it. There's comments.
Listen.
Oops, I didn't want that. So one-way compatibility.
One-way compatibility.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, hold on a second. One-way compatibility.
Yeah. So one-way compatibility, what I show my clients to illustrate this really easily, and I brought a graphic for you to see this today. It's kind of like the circle and the square, right?
Okay.
Imagine that you're the square and I'm the circle.
Okay.
I fit into you. And
Yep.
so you're able to touch all of my points. You complete me. It feels good. You are able to do all that I need to fulfill me.
Because the circle fits inside the square.
Right. But the square has edges that are never touched. And so they have unmet needs. And so they sit in a relationship and they go, you know what? For some reason, this just doesn't feel fully satisfying to me. While the other person is
One-way compatibility.
Good.
I had never heard of that before.
I never have heard that before.
How do y'all feel about that?
And it's awesome. I mean, not awesome, but
It's
I think I get what she's saying. She's saying like your compatibility levels, I guess if you were to compare them, is like I'm getting 60% of what I want, but you're only getting like 40% of what you want. So you're not even getting the majority of what you feel like you want. You're settling for a few things for that.
Unless you're the circle. If you're the circle,
you're getting everything.
You're getting everything. You're getting
not every.
No.
Majority.
If you're the circle,
think of it as majority.
So you're
everything.
getting 100, they're getting 40. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're getting 100.
You're the
they're getting
circle
40.
that fits inside this square. You're getting
'cause it's not-
everything. But the person who's the square is not getting touched on the edge. They're like, we're not compatible. It's one way. I don't think. Talk about it. If you disagree, with it.
I don't necessarily disagree with it. I haven't. I mean, I don't like it. Something I don't like about
Well,
it.
it sucks. It sucks for the square. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah. But I think that's probably a situation
But
a lot of people have been in.
I've been in that situation. Absolutely.
Right on.
Absolutely.
It's like you feel like that and it sucks because the person that you're dating is really into you, and really loves you or likes you and wants your whole.
And they feel like everything is great, right?
Yeah.
And then there's you, who's the square, who also feels that things are great at times.
Yeah.
But you're still missing these big things, and you're just like, all right, I fit into all of you and what you need. And we get along great, and we love each other, and we respect each other, and all that is great. But I'm still not getting some things.
Yeah.
Interessant.
Yeah, so I had never heard that
That's
term.
that.
I thought it was a
One-way
great term. One-way compatibility. What other thoughts y'all have on compatibility before we move on to the method lessons?
Compatibility.
Compatibility.
What about pets?
That plays a factor though.
Animals.
If someone is not
that's a big-
if someone's not a cat person or a
Mhm.
dog person, I mean, let's be real. Our animals become our
So,
family.
It's a
our
deal
kids.
breaker for
me.
Yeah.
So, I am a fiance to a woman who is not at all an animal person.
For real?
Not at all. She don't even like the Black Panther right there. She like, why we gotta have paintings of animals up in this motherfucker? Like she's
But
not.
y'all have cats.
We have cats. I have cats. So they're like, she's like a step parent to the cats. Like, you know how a step parent might be to kids? What is also, you know how like we call ourselves pet parents?
Yeah.
She's the step parent of the cats. But she, like, obviously there's way more abuse because it's an animal. For her, it's like, I don't give no fucks about this. If it's your child, she gonna be like, all right, I gotta at least try. I gotta at least like take him to the bathroom when you want to go to the bathroom and like give him stuff with.
Yeah. I know a pet is not a child, but I like in this situation, I liken it to a child.
Yeah,
so for me, I stopped dating a guy because he said he confessed to me. We've been dating for a little while, and then he finally like got up the nerve to say, "I really don't like dogs." Well,
this ain't gonna work.
My dog ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
and so it's like so he has a choice to make in that instance.
So he had a choice.
Right.
Either you love my dog and understand that we're a package deal,
Yeah.
or you move along.
I'd also say, do you consider yourself a dog person?
I'm a huge dog person.
So being a dog person, a relationship between a human and a dog is very different than a relationship with a human and two cats. I don't like them motherfuckers. Like, I don't actually fuck with them, but like they're mine.
I feel like,
and I'm not gonna just fucking throw them off the balcony. Like, I'm be like, all right.
For the
nigga,
record,
you need to
Luca
eat.
was mine first. Luca was mine first.
You don't fuck with Luca either.
I love
You gave Luca away.
I've learned to love
I only
cats.
gave Luca away because of my living situation years
Mm-hmm.
ago. But I do feel like that cats or animals, people typically have had a bad experience prior, and then the moment they find a animal with a great personality, they end up really loving that animal.
That's true.
You know,
Potentially.
So
let me finish my story. The reason that my girl doesn't like animals is because she has experiences when she was in Grenada where there were just dogs, just out.
Oh yeah, strays.
So not only does she not necessarily like my animals, which she has a pretty good relationship with, you know, within her realm of like compatibility with an animal. But when she goes to the park and she sees these white people out here with their dogs off the leashes, just running in the grass. Like there's a pet park right there. You can put them in the gate and they'll be in it. That's what she say every time she come home. She was like, I was out there and I was going to walk around the whole park like for like, you know, 3 miles or whatever, but I only made it around once and then all these dogs was everywhere and I had to get the fuck out of there. So she don't fuck with
there's levels to
animals.
Like I like dogs
because animals.
But I hate seeing people with their dogs in places I don't think dogs should be. For example, if I'm eating food at a restaurant, I don't want your dog next to me on the patio.
Agree. People have gotten a little crazy with bringing their dogs like
And I love
everywhere
dogs.
they go.
I love dogs.
I love dogs, but I'm like, no.
My dog
Keep your
goes
dog
where
at home.
I go.
All right, man. Last question.
Okay.
Last
from the
question.
90s.
I'm gonna use the
Wait,
voice.
I
for
got
this
one more thing.
Go ahead.
I had something. Oh,
He lost
I had a cat.
So I was gonna say,
What are? What the fuck? That sounds like a. Anyway, what are some things that are compatibility deal breakers for you? Compatibility deal breakers?
Whoa.
What are some deal breakers?
An
absolutely deal breaker.
An absolute deal breaker.
Deal breaker on compatibility.
She does not give it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I ain't fucking with no woman who
If
can
she
give
don't,
me head.
and let me just say this as like I like head. I don't necessarily.
What person doesn't like head? You don't like head.
But I don't necessarily require it. Does that make sense?
I require it if I'm eating that pussy. I require it.
It depends. It depends. I guess
real.
I've never experienced that, but
it exists.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
So they be like, eat my pussy, but I'm not sucking no dick.
100%.
Who the fuck is out here saying that shit? I feel like that's some 90s shit. You can't say that now.
And there are dudes
It's
out
2022.
there.
You can't say that.
Women have told me that there are a lot of men out there who want their dick sucked but don't want to eat pussy.
I believe that. I believe that 100%. It's so many Jamaican dudes out here. I'm just playing. But Caribbean dudes ain't eating no pussy.
That's
But they
very
will get their dick sucked.
strange to me.
That's just what I heard. That's what I
Yeah.
heard.
So no head. All right.
All right.
Casamigos.
What is one of mine?
Absolute deal breaker. when it
Absolute
comes to
deal breaker.
compatibility.
Excessive alcohol and
Usage.
drug use. That's a huge. That's a deal breaker for me.
There's a lot of S.
You want to socially drink. You want to like maybe socially partake in like tree or edibles. I'm okay with that, but this is a drug-free zone.
If you pull out crack,
And you can't be like,
He's
I
like-
don't want
he's
to
like-
interact with you when you're
High.
drunk or high all the time.
Yeah.
Like I know somebody who like she's only used to having sexual
High?
relations with her boyfriend drunk when they're drunk.
Hell no.
I don't want that
No
life.
way.
I need us to be
No
more
way.
sober and
Yeah.
lucid than drunk and high.
She getting that Hennessy dick.
So that's definitely a compatibility deal breaker. We got to be on the same page with that.
Compatibility deal breaker. For me, I would say someone who definitely does not express what's on her mind.
Ooh.
Like for me, like
Okay, elaborate.
so I like to see someone emotionally vulnerable. Because once I'm into you, I'm out there.
Yeah.
So if you struggle expressing yourself, like if I gotta pull it out, you like maybe
Yeah.
I see the energy.
Yeah.
What's going on? Oh,
Okay.
nothing.
That's a good one.
he said, if I gotta pull it out.
I ain't doing
That's
that shit no more. I ain't
No,
doing it
that's
no
a
more.
good one.
So if you gotta stop the sex.
That or if you just have a hard time like communicating, talking.
Yeah. Come at a point in my life where I'm not saying I'm the best communicator, but I've done a lot of work
Mm-hmm.
to become better at communicating. So to be with someone who does not communicate their emotions, their feelings, it bothers me to the point.
I
Like,
agree.
Don't bring that shit up 4 days later.
No, I agree with
Like
that.
I'm not dealing with it. I done moved the fuck on.
Right.
Then
I
it creates
agree
a
with
bigger
that.
problem. So
And I like just checking in every now and then. Like even when things are good, I'm somebody like I like to like check in with you. Like,
that's
how are you feeling
big.
about us? Like, is there
Yes.
anything that you need that I'm not giving you? Do we need to talk about anything? I like that. I like it out in the
Yeah,
open.
I agree.
You said you would kick chickens with you? What'd you say?
No, check-ins.
Oh, I would like to check in.
She like
I would like to
check-ins.
check in. I heard.
Check-in.
I would like to kick chickens with that person. I feel like we kick chickens together.
I was like, what?
Everything is gonna be all right.
Actually, one thing I learned from my last relationship is it's correlated to like check-ins, is that
Checking in.
just because you have a conversation with someone
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they got everything off their chest or that
Yes.
they agree. So I believe in the follow-up,
Yeah.
right? So we talked about it on a Tuesday.
Yes.
And then like maybe like on next week on a Monday, you're like, so are we good? How's everything?
I like that.
I
and
learned that.
And that can drive some people crazy because they automatically get sometimes on edge or like, oh my gosh, do I need to be on the defensive? And it's like, no, I'm just checking. Like, are we good?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Because so many times where you thought
Yep.
you had a conversation and you were good, and then
Yes.
it comes up a month later,
Yep.
like, what the fuck are we doing
what
right
happened?
now?
Shit was over.
So yeah.
That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah. All right, man. Method heads, we appreciate y'all. If you have any comments about your compatibility struggles and concerns or issues or things you like or want, let us know in the comments. Just come in here later on and just throw them up there. Or come over to Spotify. I know we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Samsung Podcasts, anywhere that you hear our voice, you can catch us there. Remy, I think it's time to get into method lessons. What do you say?
Let's do method lessons.
Let's do method lessons.
Reading is fundamental. Now let's get on with this school thing. You teach.
World.
In a world that's all women. All right, what's method lessons?
Method lessons is when we discuss something that we learned recently. I hope you motherfuckers are learning things every day Nigga, Trump is on the way back. Trump is coming back.
No,
like fucking Voldemort.
Let's not put
like
that out
Voldemort.
there.
I
So
know.
learn new shit every day. So I learned I learned that Kez.
OMG.
Yeah, let's not bring that up.
But
you learned what?
What else did I learn? Oh, I learned a word. I got this off top.
Ooh,
I ain't even got to
I
fucking
love new
look at my.
words.
Oh, I actually got other stuff too. But new word. It's not new.
Give it to us.
It's actually an old word. But I just learned it.
Most words are old.
Give it
What
to
What
us.
do you think getting faded means? Oh, and I got two words actually. Faded and rizzing. We'll get to rizzing in a minute. What do you think getting faded is?
Faded is like when you get drunk.
Okay.
Like
Or
you
high.
faded
You
or
got
high.
faded,
Yeah,
you
you
faded.
faded.
Or he got knocked the fuck out. But faded, yeah.
Yeah.
High.
Oh, if you catch a fade.
Yeah.
Okay. What I learned, and this is according to a Gen Z friend of mine,
Okay.
a young buck, he said, I feel like when you're faded, you're high and drunk. And I was like, I didn't know that there was a
so
term
it's
for that.
Both.
I didn't know there was a term. He was like, yeah, when you're high
Okay.
and drunk, that means you're faded. So I'm hearing all these rappers say it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm faded. But I'm not even really faded.
You never heard the word faded before, though?
I heard the word.
But he
Drunk
thought the definition was different.
High, drunk, and high. That's what I got.
And what was the other word?
Rizzing. There's a few new words. but
Like he's
rizzing.
risen?
Well, here's the more important question. Is it faded spelled P-H-A-D?
No, it's not PH.
Or
It's not-
F-A-D.
Listen, did you just look on fucking Urban Dictionary? Throw that shit out the window. PH.
It's P-H.
There's no
No.
PH. Wait, is that UrbanDictionary.com?
No,
It's
what?
FADED.
No, I mean, it's
Get
F-
out of
it's
here.
F-A-D.
It's F. What the fuck? It's trolling ass. Trolling
But
ass.
there are barbershops called faded.
Yeah,
You get
naturally.
faded. You
Yeah.
get faded.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
to
You
me,
get
it
fades.
seems like it. Like when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, why is it not PH? Like it should kind of be PH.
should
Like, that was
be.
like a thing we was doing in the '90s. It was like, you know what? Throw a PH on that shit.
Throw the fade
Fat.
on
What?
that
What?
shit.
Who made the joke about it? Fat, pretty hot and tempting. Wasn't that
Oh, pretty hot. Yeah, I remember
So
that
has
joke.
faded
Chris
come
Tucker.
back? Has that
No,
word like been revived?
it hasn't gone away.
Oh,
It's still around, but I didn't know the full definition.
okay.
Okay.
I didn't know.
all
See,
right.
I thought number one, drunk. Number two, high.
Gotcha.
But it's actually number one, drunk. And high.
And number 2,
There's no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always looked at faded as just high.
high or drunk. That was always
Yeah,
been my.
I kind of associated
True.
with being high.
What was
Just
the second word you said?
inebriated.
That you said?
Rizzing. Rizzing.
With
Spell,
a
spell
Z?
that. Spell
Two
that.
Yeah.
riz.
Spell that. Spell
The
that.
conjugation of two riz is R-I-Z-Z. Two riz.
R-I-Z-Z.
All right.
It
so
rhymes
Riz?
with jizz and it's spelled just like jizz.
Riz.
So it's Riz.
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 Yes. Now I don't know if I'm right about this because this is like hearsay from Twitter, but Twitter is a cesspool now.
Riz.
Who knows if that is a place to learn information? But rizzing is more or less spitting game or trying to get the attention of a woman. You know what I mean?
I ain't never heard
through
that before.
I've never
verbal
heard that word.
It's new.
I'm
It's-
former-
it's a new
new.
one.
I've
Okay.
seen it. I've seen it like
officially old.
every
Okay.
single time I see those words, I'll see them multiple
Almost
times, and I'm like
R-I-Z-Z-E-N?
ing. Just to
Riz.
riz.
What?
Riz
To
meaning.
riz. I riz. You riz.
Yeah.
Urban
We
Dictionary.
riz. Thee riz.
Wow.
She riz. He riz. We riz. Me riz.
How good are you with pulling and sustaining
Riz.
bitches?
Yeah, getting bitches. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Well,
that.
my rizzing is not very good.
See, we old dogs learning new tricks.
Man, fuck that shit.
Rizzing, and there's a bunch of them. You got the
What a
ox.
weird.
You got the
Word.
ox. You got there's a few of them. I learned the ox.
Cass, you learn anything this week?
I have, yeah. So I've actually I've been learning a lot about cortisol.
Cortisol. Is that like stuff
Cortisol.
you rub in your elbows and shit?
That's our stress. It's a stress hormone.
Okay. All right.
And I started
Mhm.
learning about it because a few weeks ago, I was feeling really heavy, like
Mm.
mentally and physically. I was
Mhm.
like feeling very sluggish. I was feeling extremely bloated, like
Okay.
just like I was retaining a lot of water. And I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and she was like, your body just might be producing too much cortisol. And I was like, what the fuck is that? So I started looking it up.
What the fuck is
And
cortisol?
it is a stress hormone. And yes, when your body produces too much, you just have all these very adverse effects. I was sleeping poorly, like just terrible things were happening. So I actually started taking an herb called rhodiola. So rhodiola is a plant-based herb. It comes in I take the little tincture that's in liquid form. And I've noticed a huge difference since taking it.
Oh yeah.
I drink it every morning with my water on an empty stomach, and I'm sleeping through the night. My bloat is gone. I'm focused during the day and I have more energy. It's just been incredible.
Is that something
So
that
I'm
anyone
gonna
can
try
take?
to work.
Can men and women take it?
So I'm gonna try to work on keeping my cortisol levels as low as I can.
Do men have issues with cortisol? Like I don't.
Yeah, everybody has it.
The opposite of cortisol, I believe, is testosterone.
I think I have too much.
According to
estrogen is the opposite of
there's
testosterone.
There's some relationship
Dopamine,
between maybe.
No, dopamine.
There's some relationship between testosterone and cortisol, which goes into the next thing.
I was thinking about cortisone. Ain't that a drug?
Yeah, so cortisone.
I was like, cortisone.
Cortisone is a cream you put when you get like a bug bite or like a rash.
No, cortisol. No, I got too much cortisone.
No.
Cortisol is with an S.
Cortisone is what you that thing you order at the pizza place, and it's like a fucking.
That's a calzone. That's a calzone.
Cortisol.
You know what else I learned in relation to cortisol? In case anybody has been suffering from the effects that I've been suffering from, I actually learned this morning as I was drinking my coffee. So as soon as I get up in the morning, I go for my cup of coffee, and I just found out that you should wait 1 to 4 hours after waking up in the morning, because when you first wake up in the morning, your body immediately goes to work releasing cortisol, and caffeine is a blocker to that.
That makes sense. I don't drink my coffee as soon as I wake up. I wake up, I go to the gym, and then I have to come back from the gym.
That's what I need to do that, because that's about an hour.
Caffeine is a cortisol blocker.
Yes, it interferes.
So you need the stress.
No, the caffeine interferes with your body's ability to get rid of the cortisol.
Get rid of it.
So as soon as you wait,
it attaches onto the enzymes, and they just be like, all right, fuck it, we gonna do it.
So I'm gonna try to do what you do. I'm gonna try to like get my workout in the mornings and then have my cup of coffee.
Yeah, my alarm goes up at 5:30. I'm out the house at 6 a.m. I go to the gym, do my cardio, 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
I come back to the house. This is probably about 7:15, 7:20.
Okay.
And then I do my coffee, and
that's what I need to do.
But 4 hours, I couldn't wait 4 hours.
No.
All right. So here's what I learned this week. I want to know. I want to hear. I wonder if this is going to blow your mind as much as it made me do thinking. And I'll ask you a question about it. So of course, my method lessons come from TikTok, my favorite place on social media right now. Even though I've cut back on that too. All right, I'm going to play part of this clip.
All right. So
I think I'm a white man.
You think?
Yeah.
No. Do you believe?
I believe I am a white man.
Don't you know that belief is a doubt?
How is belief a doubt?
Eh?
How is belief
because
a doubt?
You cannot believe something and know it.
Wait, my poor brain, wait.
Hang on.
I cannot believe it and know it.
No. And you can only believe in what you don't know.
I like that. You can only believe in what you don't know.
You don't know.
That's why you have to believe it.
Yes. Now do you believe in your mind?
So I was like, bruh. You cannot believe. You cannot believe. It's a whole clip, right? But I didn't play the whole clip. But he goes to talking about like being a white man, believing you're a white man, but it's really about saying
instead of saying I know I'm a white man.
I know I'm a white man, but he's talking about you can believe in Jesus because you don't know Jesus,
right?
You know your parents. You don't believe in your parents. You know your parents, right? And so anyway, he was saying you cannot believe. You cannot not believe in something and know it, and you can only believe in what you don't know. My question is sticking to like compatibility. It got me thinking about how we speak in conversation to people about ourselves or about people. For example, I believe I'm a good person, or I believe she's a good person. When we think about compatibility, at what point do we go from I believe they're the one to I know they're the one? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Based on what he's saying, you cannot believe in what you know, because if you know it, it's not a belief, right? Yeah. So when do we go from I believe he's a good person to I believe that he's the one to I know he's the one?
Depends on if you got trust issues or not. Or whatever your problem is. You know what I mean? Like you got issues, like real issues, like trust issues. Then you're gonna be like, this nigga cheating. Or this nigga doing some shit, or like you're gonna have to check phones. You know what I mean? Like,
so you're saying once your trust issues are no longer relevant in your life, that's when you know she's the one.
I guess. I mean, maybe not necessarily when they're not relevant, but when you can overcome them at least once, or you know, like whatever your problem is. Like you figure out a lot of your problems when you with somebody.
Mhm.
That's been my experience. Everybody I've dated, I've learned how to be a better like boyfriend. I haven't learned how to be a great human being.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're not growing just by yourself, you're growing with this person. So then your energy is adapting to their energy, and either y'all are growing together or you're growing apart. So,
Okay. So,
What do you
trust.
say, Jay?
What you say, Jay?
I don't know. Like I was thinking about this because like just hearing that guy, and it's such a deeper conversation about just like knowing and believing and what you speak out to the universe, especially if you're big on like what you say manifests into reality, right? I always say I believe I'm doing the right thing versus I know I'm doing the right thing. And so I would say like the difference when you know they're the one versus I believe they are the one is when you are literally at peace, just like with everything that they bring into your life. Like when you're around them, you don't worry about like stress or your bills or being taken care of, or it's just like, damn, like I just feel good when I'm around you, and I know that she's the one because of that feeling. Now obviously like shit happens as we get older and we together and you get divorced or you break up, and I don't necessarily believe that just because you broke up doesn't mean that she wasn't the one. I think sometimes our own expectations and our inability to communicate or work through our shit causes us to break up. Yeah. Right? You can know they're the one and you just fucked it up.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
a fact.
That's
yeah,
true.
Yeah. I believe in that.
True.
I believe in that.
I believe in that too. Yeah.
It's wild. Ain't it? Because you could have already fucked it up with your soulmate. You could have been like, yo, I had a soulmate.
100%.
I just couldn't keep my dick to
I believe in
myself.
more than one
I had
soulmate.
to stick my dick somewhere else.
There's not just one person for everyone. I think there's more.
I agree.
You ever fucked up a relationship like that?
I fucked up so many relationships.
But like that?
I've definitely had relationship or
cheated or
I've never physically cheated. I've definitely mentally cheated before. But there are a couple women that I've dated where I felt like I definitely dropped the ball or dropped the bag.
Yeah.
Where it's like, damn.
I definitely have that like, oh, that's one that got away
an
type of
interesting
feeling.
way to put it. Drop the bag on that.
For
one.
sure.
I think most relationships happen based on the timing. The timing is just right. It's like you're at a place in your life.
Timing is such a big.
I think it's the biggest thing.
Factor.
I think it's the
Timing is
biggest
such a
thing.
critical factor.
Yeah. So.
What kind of bag did you drop?
Well, it wasn't Dior. And it wasn't Gucci.
It was a public bag.
And it wasn't Vaseline. Wasn't the one Kanye got issues
Balenciaga.
with? Balenciaga. I want that because I can't afford that shit.
It wasn't a trash bag.
Oh, that was yours. That was yours.
Oh no. I mean, I've been in some wild relationships,
Yeah. It's like, all right, man. Well, we got 3 weeks till Christmas?
Christmas time. I went and got waxed today, and they were playing Christmas music in the background.
Wait, what?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It was a jolly good time.
It should be a happy place.
Good time.
It should be a happy place.
It was.
Do y'all find yourselves, are y'all normally in better spirits
Yes.
this time of the year?
I love this time of year.
It depends. It depends on what I'm doing. Like if I'm going to see family, automatically. Yeah. But if I just stay in town, which is what I'm doing this year, it's all right.
Really? I love this time of year regardless. Yeah. So this was my mom's like favorite time of year. And I find myself doing things that my mom did, like fixing my decorating my whole house. Like I love it. It just
your house is a vibe for sure. Like I enjoy.
It's very.
I like interior decorating. It look good. I'm not big on Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas per se, I celebrate my friends
Yeah.
during the holidays. I don't believe in Jesus Christ and all that, but I believe in friendship.
I like that part. Yeah. And I love picking out, I love gift giving. That's always been something I just get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and just finding the perfect gift for my friends and wrapping it. I love it. I love all of it.
That's stressful for me. So the times where I do spend Christmas with the most family, that's the part that becomes anxiety inducing. I gotta get these niggas some shit. I gotta go to the store and figure out who wants what.
You do
I
know
talk
that
to these
most people who have seasonal depression or issues during this time of year, it's because of the family. Because their family stresses them out. They have all this pressure about going to see their family, or when they go to see their family, there's all these family drama. People have so many issues around that. So if you do have seasonal depression, please reach out, talk to someone. Don't go through it by yourself. We are all in this together.
I agree.
They say the liquor, unless you have something else to talk about. You good?
I'm good.
They say the liquor make you talk quicker. We say M is for
mostly.
E is for
everybody.
T is for
talking.
H is for
honestly.
O is for
over.
And D is for
drinks.
Until next week, next time. Holla.
Drinks and
So that was wild. And that was just a taste. We do this every week. Check out last week's episode.
He's right. That was wild. And you can catch last week's episode, the video episode, on Spotify, all the audio, Apple Podcasts, Anchor FM. We appreciate y'all. See you soon.